Hello beautiful souls and welcome back to the channel. This is a very impromptu reading because I've just felt like I needed to do this reading, so I'm really going to be doing whatever comes to mind. And I'm going to call upon my higher self, my loving spirit guides, and all divine beings of light who walk with me. I invite only those who are here in truth, wisdom, and unconditional love. Please surround this space with protection, peace, and clarity, and deliver the much needed messages for the collective right now. Thank you, guides. I just felt like I had to do this for the collective. So somebody needs to hear this. Somebody needs this message. What is the overall energy? What do you need me to tell the collective right now? What does the collective need to know right now? We've got the Six of Cups for you here. We have the Ten of Swords for you here as well. And we have the Death card. Now, this is a pretty powerful reading. I feel someone is definitely in a place where they're reminiscing over something they had to let go of and had to restart and have a rebirth after this whole thing. So someone's been through a bit of heartbreak, something, not going to plan. And as a result of that, there's been this transformation. We've got this Scorpio energy here, the card of releasing, and then this nostalgia card happening here. Let's find out a little bit more. Tell me a little more about, sorry, one of them was turned over and I just need to do that. Tell me a little bit more about this situation. What is it that's been happening for the collective? Tell me a little more. Tell me a little more. What's been happening for the collective? What is the collective going through? What do they need to hear? Tell me a little more about the situation first. Let's see. Give me two more cards about the current situation. One more card. Give me one more card about the current situation. Okay. So let's find out a little bit more. I feel these kind of came out. Okay, so what do we have? What do we have? What do we have? So, okay, so we are now nostalgic, but this is something you needed to release. You needed to let go of this. You've accepted that it is the way it is. There's nothing you could be doing anymore, and you've just kind of accepted. And now, as a result of this whole experience, this is the card of transformation, which means that you are coming out of this like a whole new person. Whatever lessons you've learned, whatever you've been through, it's really transformed your outlook on a lot of things. It's really made you grow in a lot of ways. It's made you, like, honestly, this card is like a gift. When I say a gift, so the card number is 13. This card, it literally like has turned your life upside down, and then you restarted like brand new and like the most authentic and powerful version of yourself. Okay, so I know whatever you've been through was not feeling that way whilst you were going through it. You may still be coming out the back end of it. That's fine, that's normal, but the transformation that's coming with this experience is really for the greatest good, for the greater good. So we want to find out more about the situation. Now I've got this Five of Wands. So we've got this card of conflict, chaos, disagreements, everybody kind of pulling in different directions, not really being united, not really seeing eye to eye. And I've also got this King of Cups that came through. And I think this King of Cups is what you wanted to see, is what you saw in this person. Like, you did see this King of Cups, but for some reason, you just kept coming up against this same sort of issue. And I feel like this person, I don't know whether they were these things or whether you kind of like idolize this person a little bit, because I've got this King of Cups here, which, oh, I don't know if I feel they were this King of Cups. I feel like this is your perception of them. And also the Six of Wands is like the card of someone who is quite successful, like a bit of a superstar, a bit like maybe an influencer, or maybe, I don't know, someone who's achieved things for themselves. So you kind of put them on a bit of a pedestal and you kind of looked up to this person, maybe idolize them a little bit. It is someone that's got some sort of status, some sort of, I don't know whether they're a business owner, someone successful, they've got status, they're charming, you know, they're all of the good things. So, but at the I'm stuttering now. At the end of it, I'm feeling that there was just this conflict. Like you really looked up to this person and you saw good things about them, or you felt they were this like amazing person, but for some reason you kept coming up against disagreements and you just couldn't get yourselves on the same team. Now we've also got the Knight of Wands. Now, I do feel you were love bombed. I feel like this is a person that came in hot and heavy. This is fire on top of fire energy. This guy's fast. He comes in with loads of passion, loads of forward movement, really fast, really hot, really heavy. But because honestly, I just get the feeling that you were love bombed in this. And the last card I've got here is the Nine of Pentacles, and I feel like this person made you feel this way. So you really felt like you were in like a whole world of like, wow, like look, this guy is giving me the attention. He was kind of making you feel special. He was making you he was kind of indulging you in this beauty and this, like, he came in and he took care of you and he kind of like promised you the world and made you feel like this was going to be amazing. And I feel like you did feel this way, but here we go. This is the overall energy of why this just went wrong. And I feel like there was no meeting of minds here. And I do think you looked up to this person. I do think you saw lots of wonderful things and it started off really, really well. But we're butting heads here, just butting heads too much. But I feel like you've really struggled because of the way this person made you feel. This was kind of like a bit like infatuation. When I say infatuation, I mean they really took you real high, and then you had to come right down, and it's not a nice feeling when that happens. But I also get the feeling with this Knight of Wands that this person just love bombed you. They really did. And it's one of those where you kind of want to take your time with people, but when someone comes in and they kind of give you everything you've ever wanted and you're like, oh my god, this is the one, I guess we lose our heads a little bit. We can lose our heads a little bit. So I feel that potentially is what happened here. Now let's get a little bit more insight into the situation. Spirit guides, tell me a little bit more about this situation. Tell me a little bit more about what happened. Give us a little bit more insight as to what happened here between these beautiful people. Okay, so I've got the Eight of Swords that's come out here. The Eight of Swords is the card of someone kind of being tied up and being unable to move forward for some reason. The way I look at this card is that it's the card of something holding us back, okay? So for whatever reason, your person or yourself, I feel it's probably your person, but maybe even you, there was something holding you back in this relationship, I guess. I feel this is a love reading for me, but something was holding you both back from moving forward together. Then we have the Knight of Swords and the Five of Cups. Okay, this Knight of Swords, the Knight is... The Knights are like the teenagers. They're like they kind of like are really stubborn. They want to move forward. They've got this like speed to them. They're very passionate. They want to move forward. You don't know what's going to happen. You see lots of movements with them. But then I've got the swords here, which the swords can be cutting. The swords can be abrupt. They can be like, if you handle the sword badly, you can cause quite a bit of damage. And I feel like this Knight of Swords, and even this card here, it's not like a pleasant card. You've got the fire coming up here, and it's kind of really brutal. I don't know why this card just makes me feel like something was quite brutal. I feel like this person went from being this kind of King of Cups in your eyes to all of a sudden becoming this Knight of Swords. All of a sudden they kind of started to lash out, started to rebel, started to give you this coldness. Maybe their words started to feel a little bit harsh towards you, and you're thinking, what on earth is going on? And then the next card I've got here is this Five of Cups. So like this person now pulling away from you, basically turning their back on you. You can see these cups. So the cups are always emotions, relationships, like kind of matches of the heart. And as you can see, there's all of this spilt, all these cups are knocked over. There's still some standing cups here, but this person's not looking at this. They are looking, they kind of sulking to themselves and just kind of feeling sorry for themselves over here. So I think this person came in and said or did some really crappy things and hurt you. I don't know what it was. Could it be commitment issues? Could it be they hadn't moved on in their own lives? Was there things stressing them out? I don't know what it is, but I think I'm gonna pull a few more cards. So I feel like you had a good thing going, but then they switched on you, and then all of a sudden, I feel this card just gives me like sulking and like, woe is me. You know, I think this person messed up, and instead of doing what it takes to put it right, I feel like they're like looking away and feeling sorry for themselves and being a little bit like self-absorbed, like that teenager immature energy, just kind of sulking without wanting to do things better. I think this person was lacking emotional maturity and emotional intelligence here. And kind of, again, even with this card, I'm getting this like victim mentality, like, oh, I can't do any better, I'm all tied up. And this card actually signifies that it's your own mind that's holding you back. And you kind of, it's a bit of an excuse card, a victim mentality card. Sometimes we don't know that's what it is. This person could have gone through these things completely unconsciously, right? They're not doing it on purpose, I don't think. But nevertheless, it is what's happened. I've also got this Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is usually the card of putting the swords down and going into like a peaceful place. Now, in this card, we've got a woman and a child. It's just a woman on this card, but normally there's a woman and a child. So it's like you're both going away into a peaceful place, but I feel like this is your person or you, or potentially both of you, heading for a more peaceful place, but I don't feel it is together. I feel everything's calmed. I feel like you've both put these swords down, so there's no more fighting. But I feel like you've kind of gone your separate ways rather than together. But I do feel like things are calm for you guys now. And the next card I've just fallen out is the Star card. Now, I feel this is you, okay? Because I feel like off the back of this Death card, you've released, okay? You are remembering what happened and kind of the fond memories and the beautiful parts of this whole thing. I don't think you hate this person. I don't think you're feeling bitter or like resentful about any of it. I just feel like you both were kind of struggling to see eye to eye on things. So for whatever reason that is, and you know, I feel from my reading and the energy I'm getting here for you, I feel like there's an emotional maturity about this person. I'm going to put this here just because I don't want YouTube to get upset with the naked lady. Okay, let's find out a little bit more. Let's just get a little bit more about, actually, let's see, what is their energy? What is their energy right now? What is your person's energy? What is the collective's person energy at the moment? What is it that they're feeling right now? What's the collective's person's energy? Okay, I've got the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is the card of someone who's persevering and they're still putting in the work. This is, again, the Pentacles are always like worker energy. So whatever they're doing right now, they're focusing on something, like their job, their career, their business, whatever it is. I feel like they're kind of slowly working on their craft and doing whatever they can. But I do feel it's a slow movement with this. And I feel like they're trying to do this not to think about everything that happened. But there's also an energy of moving forward slowly, almost like still thinking about things. So not fully like moved on, or I feel like there's a part of them that's a little bit nostalgic still. I don't think this person's fully moved on, but I think they're trying to do everything they can, you know, keep their mind busy, keep themselves busy in their lives with things that they can control and they can work on. I don't think this person's particularly happy right now. I'm not getting that from this card. And I feel even with this, I hope you can see these cards, guys, and they're not out of focus. But even with this card, you know, the Five of Cups here and the Six of Swords, I feel like they're working on a bit of clarity here. I feel like they're thinking about things. You know, I feel like they needed to clear their mind. I feel like they're trying to focus on things. I think they don't know what happened. They're still trying to figure out what went so wrong, okay? But I'm kind of getting unintentional mess up energy from this person. And now I've got this Queen of Swords. Now I'm shifting into your energy here, and I feel like this is what you're coming across like to him or her, sorry, to your person. I think right now you're in this Queen of Swords energy. The Queen's like, right, swords up, I'm done. You know, I'm back in my Queen energy. You've got some form of clarity. You've kind of cut things off. I feel like because of the way this is coming across, I feel like it was actually a mutual thing. I feel like you just said no more. You said, you know, I'm not gonna play along with this. You know, whatever the disagreements were, I don't think you wanted to keep going through those same arguments and the same conflicts and the same issues. And with getting this Queen energy, I feel like you very much knew what you wanted and you were kind of clear about things. But anyway, with everything that happened, I feel like you were just like, right, sword up. We're not doing this anymore. And I feel like you walked away. I feel like they also felt it was the right thing. So I think both of you needed to step back. But even right now, you're in this Queen of Swords energy. And you just know your worth. You know, the swords are always like strategy and clear thinking and, you know, just having a clear mind and being clear cut about things. And I feel like that's where you're up to. And then we've also got the Judgment card. The Judgment card is the card of, I feel like someone here is getting their judgment. And when I say this, you're feeling the repercussions, but I don't mean in that way. I don't mean like anyone's, you know, paying for something. I just mean right now, whether it's them, I think it's them, they're realizing what you actually brought to their life, the value that you had in their life, the way you made them feel, the way, you know, potentially realizing that actually this was a really, really good thing they had in their life, and it was a really good thing with you. You had a great thing together. There was a lot of great potential in this whole thing. And I think this judgment is saying to me, their logical brain is started to kick in, and they're starting to feel the consequences to the whole thing. They're starting to feel the impact on their life, on the way everything feels without you in their life. And I don't think it's a particularly enjoyable place to be. I think they've potentially even realized how before you came into their life, they're back at that now, and I don't think they're loving it. I even think with this card, what it's giving me is that this person was always kind of doing this, and now they've gone back to their life and they're back to doing everything they've ever done, but they're reminiscing. They're kind of wondering, wait, could I have thrown away a really good thing, because my life is so much better, felt so much better when I was with that person, when they were in my life, and now I'm back to doing this, but they're still thinking about you. Okay, they can't shake themselves from thinking about you, which, what can I say? That is the vibe I'm getting for them. Okay, let me pull a couple of cards for your energy right now. What is it that you're feeling right now, and what does the collective need to know right now? What's the collective's energy right now? Tell me a little bit about the collective. One more card for the energy of the collective right now. Tell me a little more. One more card for the energy. Whoa! Wait. Too many. Okay. So your energy here, we've got this Temperance. And we've got the Two of Swords. I feel like right now, after everything that's happened, and I'll see it throwing you off. And again, we've got this Death card that we already discussed earlier. So this transformative power. I think it really made you realize that you maybe got carried away with this whole thing, and maybe you got attached too quickly, or whatever it might be. But basically, I feel there's an energy of you right now working on your intuition and really listening to yourself, whether it's because, you're still recovering from this whole thing. You're focusing on learning. I feel like right now you're very focused on trusting yourself and what you can kind of integrate from this experience that's going to make you have sharper intuition, that's going to make you a little bit more, I'm going to say it, that's going to make you a little bit smarter in matters of the heart. I've got the swords here, which are the swords are all about clarity, logical thinking, getting that logical brain working a little bit stronger there. And I think it's taught you some things, okay? It's taught you to be a little bit more cautious, to be a little bit more careful with your heart, and not to just trust. I feel like the way you've come away from this is thinking, why did I give my all like that? Why did I just trust someone after, so quickly? And why did I put myself in that position? And I feel this is you now integrating that, learning that experience to sharpen, that side to you that perhaps gives your heart too quickly to others and opens up too quickly and just kind of becomes vulnerable a bit too quickly, perhaps. But I think you're definitely working on your intuition, you're working on your discernment, and you're sharpening that. And that's what tends to happen after these awful breakups sometimes. We can't help but go into that mode and kind of learn the lessons that sometimes we need to learn. Now, I've also got this Temperance energy. The Temperance is all about, patience. It's about having grace for ourselves. It's about understanding that what happened was a lesson and not a punishment, and not the universe crashing down on us. It was something that was meant to be the way it was. There may be some lessons that you needed to learn. There probably are some lessons that the person needed to learn. You were both going through this almost like an ascension, but I think you both needed to come into this. I do get the sense that this was quite a fast a fast interaction. I don't feel like you were together that long. I feel it happened really quickly and you got really close really quickly and it was amazing. And then it went wrong just as quickly as it was amazing, if that makes sense. And I feel like right now you're just learning to have patience for yourself. You're learning to give yourself that time to heal, that time to process, and to come back to yourself. And I really love this because your energy is giving healing, but kindness and grace. And you're not, you're not bitter, you're not angry, but you are just taking your time and learning the lessons and coming back to yourself. Now, let's just do a couple of more cards just to give you a little bit of guidance here. What cards should I use? I'm going to use these beautiful cards. Let's do a little bit of guidance for you. I love these cards. Look how pretty they are. Okay. So, let's do, bottom of the deck here is the King of Wands. King of Wands. This is a very passionate person. I think he's stepping into his kingdom, into his maturity, but right now there's still a lot of this Wands energy going on for this person. Now a little bit more guidance for you. We've got the Hierophant. I don't know if I say this word correctly ever, but we've got the Hierophant, and we've also got the Moon. The Moon card. These cards don't actually, I sometimes question myself what they actually are. So we've got the Hierophant here. Now this is someone who is, I feel, I asked for a little bit more guidance for you, and I feel like this could be one of two things. This could be your person, and I feel like they were kind of stuck in their old style thinking a little bit. There's someone that is very traditional and has operated a certain way for a certain amount of time, and it may just be that there were some disagreements on certain things in terms of like what you guys saw your future. It could be that. Alternatively, I feel like the other side to this card I'm getting is that you needed to come back to who you are. You maybe started to compromise on what you were about to satisfy this person, to keep this person with you, to keep them in your life, to make them happy. And I feel you started to lose yourself. So I feel this card is you coming back to yourself and to your own grounding and what you know. This card is kind of like some form of stability is what it makes me feel. It makes me feel like it just gives me coming back to your traditions, to your beliefs, to what you needed to kind of ground yourself a little bit. And the Moon card here, the Moon card is the card of your intuition and kind of everything that's going on. I feel like there's a lot of inner processing going on for you, for him. I think as a result of this, do you know what? There's so many, like, I'm going to say heavy cards, but I don't mean them in a negative way. I just mean really transformational, like major arcana cards, like big energies here. We've got Temperance, we've got the Moon, we've got the Hierophant, Judgment. There's so much going on here that I honestly feel the Death card. I feel this short, whatever this was, okay, it literally has transformed the two of you. I think it was such a big, it's I've been watching a lot of like tarot to just learn, and I'm learning about twin flames and like karmic relationships and stuff. I don't know if it's a twin flame or a karmic situation, but my goodness, did you guys transform your lives? And like, I feel like some of the things you came up against were real, like transformational things. Like when you had an argument, I feel like whatever went wrong between you, I feel it like proper, seriously triggered you guys. And not just triggered you, but it was something very, very deep that needed healing, okay? Because the moon card is such an inner, like this inner discovery and intuition and listening to yourself, to your heart, to your purpose. You know, it's such a just such a big meaning card that I feel like this whole thing, it's almost like before this relationship, you guys were just going about your business, unhealed, not really looking at the deeper stuff that was going on within yourselves. Probably had like trauma, probably had like commitment issues, whatever it may be, okay? And then you came together, and then all of a sudden you mirrored each other so powerfully that all of this stuff, you just kind of brought each other's like all of your wounds, all of your like the things that you needed to heal, the things that you needed to face about yourselves and about each other. You just brought that to the absolute like surface. So no wonder that you guys need like time to recover. And here we go, literally, oh my God. This is why tarot blows my mind, okay? So I've just had the High Priestess. Is it High Priestess or the Empress? I can't tell with these. The High Priestess, number 2. The High Priestess, again, is like, she is, you know, like when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to your intuition, when it comes to those absolute inner things about ourselves, the deepest, darkest, brightest, best and worst parts to ourselves, the High Priestess holds all of this knowing. She's got the key to all of that stuff. And I've literally, these 3 cards, I'm sorry, but this feels to me like literally life-changing. Your encounter with this person and them with you was meant to happen, okay? Because too many big cards are coming out here where I'm like, this was a transformational thing. So whether they were meant to come into your life to transform you or vice versa or both, and I feel it is both, because normally like the twin flame thing, you come into each other's lives to like shatter, you know, anything that needed healing, anything that needed bringing up, anything that needed overcoming to lead you into the next phase of your life, and for you to have that transformation and that inner growth and that like to release you from whatever was holding you back, whatever, you know, deep layers, you know, like Carl Jung stuff, okay? It's amazing, okay? But you triggered each other's like psyche on a deep level. So I wouldn't be surprised if you experienced stuff like you know, trauma coming to the surface, heightened emotions, you know, like big fiery arguments, and you're like, oh my God, I've never been like that before. I've never felt that way about someone before. Why does this person like bring out so much of me? And I think as well with this like 5 of Wands card, and also the Knight of Wands, there was so much passion. You guys were drawn to each other massively. Like you just knew this was meant, like you knew there was something really powerful about the 2 of you. But then when you came together, you just mirrored each other and triggered each other so badly. And so I don't mean badly, I mean powerfully, that it was almost like unbearable. And neither of you knew how to like actually deal with this. And I think this is the sort of thing that if you walk away from and you really do your inner work, it will literally transform everything about you. You know, there's like programming, there's like beliefs that it will challenge. It's really like a whirlwind of an encounter, but it's so powerful that it leaves you like, literally it leaves you like a whole new person once you come out of this, once you do the healing, once you do that reflection, once you sit with yourself and process it all. Oh, this is, do you know what? I know this is really hard, and I know this can feel like such a shattering experience for so many, but this is one of the most powerful things that can happen to us if we meet a person like this in our lives. Now, they could be someone that, you know, we end up with later down the line because they just triggered a lot of healing within ourselves and we did the same for them. We don't know this, right? But something like this will change your life, and it always is for the better, because if there's anything that's been holding you back, if there's anything you've been kind of coming across, so the example I can give you is, if you, for example, you've been in relationships and maybe you always have like fear of abandonment. Why can't I speak? So you might have like insecurities or fear of abandonment, or maybe you've just like struggled to let someone in, or I don't know. Let's say you've been in relationships, but you always kind of like struggle with certain things, or even in your job, even in your career, even in your confidence, there's stuff that's always kind of got in the way, and you're like, oh, I can't overcome this thing. A relationship like this or a partnership like this can literally trigger so much in you that you can't help, and you can't do anything else but heal that stuff and work through it, because there's no other way through. So on the other side of something like this lies a truly empowered version of you that comes out the other side of it. So I'm not saying that I'm enjoying the fact that you've gone through this, but I am saying it's a really empowering experience if you kind of look at it in that way. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more cards now for guidance. In fact, I'm going to do 1 more card for guidance for you, but I'm going to do something a little bit more uplifting because I feel like that's what you need right now. So I'm going to use the Work Your Light. No, actually, I changed my mind. Oh, I'm going to use the Starseed Oracle for you. I love this deck. It's so beautiful. Let's see what the angels have for you. Just give us 1 card for guidance for the collective, please. This was such an intense reading, guys, but like I said, I'm really happy for you because this is a really transformational part of your life. And I think this could change not just like the way you feel about yourself, but so many things in your life if you have struggled with stuff. And, you know, get stuck into inner healing, get stuck into, you know, whatever you need to do to really make sure that you heal and you process this, because it's so, so powerful. It'll be such a shame that you waste this by trying to numb yourself or like do anything. Okay. Hierophant, longing for home, homesick for the stars. I'm going to have to look up the meaning of this one because I've never seen it before. Never come across this one before. Okay. Let's see what this one means. Longing for home. Hierophant is a Welsh word that's difficult to translate, but it refers to a certain longing or homesickness, a yearning for a home or a place to which we cannot return. This unexplainable, unshakable longing for home is common in starseed and all souls. Perhaps you've had it since birth. For some, it's a distant memory of a planet, galaxy, or star system in the universe that their soul remembers and yearns to return to, a place they may have experienced more than Earth. For others, it's a longing for the unity of Source, a remembering of interconnected oneness. This yearning can lead some starseeds to travel, searching all corners of the planet to find a physical place that feels more like home. For others, it can manifest as a need to find home in people, communities, and relationships, a journey to find somewhere they truly belong. If you resonate with this yearning for home, but don't really know where home is, you're being invited to remember that your soul chose to be on Earth. You're being called to fully commit to embodying your life. You're being reassured that you didn't come here alone and that your soul consciously decided to experience what it's like to be a soul in a human body on this planet at this time. You're being called to anchor all of your presence, your personality, your soul, and your spirit in the here and now. To fully commit to living this life right now, to commit to putting 2 feet completely in. How can you commit more fully to your life? And that is your guidance. So in this self-reflection, I feel this has definitely brought something up for you. So my guidance, I feel coming through me right now as I'm feeling this card, it's what this is saying to me, and what I feel is coming from my guides is take some time to come back to yourself. Take some time to connect with the people in your life, with the blessings in your life, with you know, the goodness and the preciousness of everything that you've got around you, and know that you do belong here. And you know, this person, whatever happened with this person, that doesn't diminish, you know, all the beauty that there is in life. And I think this person and this situation has also like pushed you into a place where you're discovering yourself a lot more. You're really asking yourself, you know, what is the meaning to things? What am I here for? Who am I? What do I want to do with my life? What is love? Okay, I feel like this is it. What is love? This could have been quite a confusing experience, and I feel off the back of that, it's really made you ask some existential questions, if you like. But often, you know, we search for this big meaning and, you know, what is it all about? And we look external to ourselves. But actually, whatever galaxy, whatever planet, whatever we feel we're missing, just remember this one thing. We're all made of like galaxies and particles of like galaxies that were before us. Like, we're made of energy, we're made of everything in the cosmos. Okay, so you do belong. Like, you are part of everything. There's no part of you that's missing. There's no part of you that's incomplete. There's no part of you that doesn't belong or doesn't have the answer or isn't whole in some way, but is just coming back to ourselves. And the other thing I'm getting from this card is something that I would encourage you to do is take some time, you know, silly things. You're going to know what's coming. Take some time in nature. Take some time alone. Meditate. Spend some time with yourself and learn how to fully appreciate and really be present with yourself, with your higher being. I know not everybody believes in God and stuff like that. I personally believe, I'm a spiritual person, so I do believe that there's something that we're a part of, that there's something bigger than us. 100%. I very much believe this. So maybe take some time and get connected to, you know, to your spiritual guidance, to your spirit guides, to your angels, because they are there. Okay, so that would be my guidance and what kind of comes through for me from spirit. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope this reading has resonated with you guys, anybody that's watching. Thank you once again for being here with me, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Bye bye everyone.